So particular considerations for local authorities in relation to the GDPR. Because the GDPR has certain requirements in relation to public bodies, this will obviously include local authorities. There are a number of these. One is the fact that local authorities will need to appoint a data protection officer. This is a mandatory requirement under the GDPR. Secondly, one of the grounds for lawful processing, the legitimate interest ground, is not available for public bodies, and therefore local authorities are going to have to make sure that where they have previously relied on that ground for processing personal data, they have to find another ground to do that. Thirdly, history has shown us that the local authorities have not been the best at complying with the data protection regime we've historically had in place, and therefore given that history and given the hugely increased ability for the Information Commissioner's Office to levy fines against non-compliant organisations, we can expect local authorities to remain very much in the firing line for that sort of regulatory action. Another point, of course, is that local authorities handle a lot of sensitive personal data, and the requirements for processing that personal data under the GDPR has changed slightly, and therefore local authorities are going to need to pay particular attention to that. And then finally, we know that local authorities outsource a lot of their functions, and because of the way in which data processing is dealt with under the GDPR and the risk profile of appointing a data processor under the GDPR has changed and increased. Again, this is a very legitimate area for local authorities to pay particular attention to.